Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually Chris from Solstice ATR as well as Axel. You can find me on the websites, Twitter as my handle, Chrissy Farah, at Chrissy Farah. Discord, you can DM me. We use this adaptive algorithm for side market, up market, as well as down market with no bias. We trade what we see, not what we think. Rule one, protect capital. Act on every action and reaction. Don't be biased. Money will flow and don't stay wrong. Let's go to the first slide that I have up here. And what I wanted to do is say thank you from all of us at Solstice as well as Axel. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Enjoy your holidays with your family, friends, and loved ones. Remember to check us out at the website, get in contact with us, smash the like button, and let us know how we can assist you to help you out to improve your daily goal, weekly goal, monthly goals in your trading if you're willing to learn and understand the risk involved. Let's go to the first slide. I have the S&P 500 here showing where it has moved in the last couple of days after last week's range. We fell back down. We rallied back up. We cleared the gap, but we are in an uptrend. And you can see that the CCI, which is a stochastic momentum indicator, or an RSI or a MACD to give us momentum to the upside and downside, we found some support, but we can probably, because the S&P 500 is holding the 18 simple moving average, is going to grind on a short week to clear that prior high that we had, the 6,017.31, which is the SPX. You can use the E-mini, you can use the SPY. We are above the 50 simple moving average, the 89, 116, 200 SMA, and the 250 simple moving average. We are in an uptrend on the S&P 500. If I zoom in from the July high here, I did not mark the remember the September lows. I did not mark the November, rally, and this is the basically the November. This is the October. So when we rallied, we had this gap up here. We have a gap down here, which I would like to mark on the charts. Just we're going to make it short and simple because it's going to be a short week holiday. So I'm going to mark it here so everyone can see it. We edit the property, and I'm going to extend a couple of extra more days down here. So that way you can see where the levels are on the SPX in relationship to the SPY or the E-mini. Remember, the Fortune 500 company consists of 11 sectors, which are in the S&P 500, the energy, XLY, XLF, XLU, that is the utilities, materials, XLB, consumer staples, XLP, technology, XLK, real estate, XLRE, industrial is XLI, healthcare is XLV, and telecommunication is XLE. What I want to do is cover the XLY, just briefly a little these sectors before I go into depth. We can see that we are trying to make a new high again in XL, consumer discretionary. Pay attention to that. I want to XLF, the financial sector. You can see that the financial sector has a nice gap from here to here, which we are aware of. When we came back down here, we consolidated for a week, we broke up. It is getting a little bit overextended, but the CCI, as you can see, is trying to turn back up. Pay attention once it gets to the 200, or do we reverse from the 150 back down? Pay attention to the XLF if there's going to be still continuation and grind. The XLK in the tech sector, you can see that the tech sector is showing a little bit weakness and strength in it. At the same time, we're still in an uptrend. If I get a linear regression uptrend channel and I hand draw it from here to here, you can see that we broke down out of it. And you can see here, even if I connect this point to this one here, we are in an uptrend and a linear regression uptrend, but pay attention because we had filled it. We looked a couple of times down here into the last 3 days after, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we came back down and bounced back up. We're holding the 50 SMA and that linear regression. Is there going to be continuation? But we are in a downtrend symmetrical triangle. If I zoom in here, you can see that we fill this gap up here. We have a little tiny gap between here and here. You can use that as the reference like I did in the S&P 500. And you can extend it to the right side. We'll leave that for a couple of days and we'll come back to it a little bit later during the week. That way everyone can see it. We filled this gap down here and we filled this one. Is there going to be continuation, grind up, or are we going to get rejection here, or do we continue to the upside in XLK? Now the IWM, which is the small cap or the value play, we can see that the IWM, there's a gap down here, which we're going to fill up here. Just keep an eye on it. There may be a change in, trend and so on in different sectors where I would rather pay attention to small cap as well as mid cap to give us an overall view, because we broke out of that downtrend channel trying to come back up to the backside of the prior 2-3 years ago from 2020, going back up to that 100% retracement in the IW. If you look at RSP, the value play in the S&P or the equal weight, we can see that we double topped at the 185.79. You can see that, and this was probably 1 cent or 2 cents difference. You can see it's 79 cents as well. Is it going to create a cup continuation, or is it going to look up to the open cone, or are we going to fill back the gap? And we're holding the 50 SMA. F5, F6 is 61, F5 is 50%, and F3 is the 38.2 Fibonacci in the RSP. Let's take a look at now. One other one is, let's do one more. I'll keep that. I want to do Mr. MSTR. This is in the basically Bitcoin leveraged fund MicroStrategy Inc. You can see that this push last week, and I had called it on Twitter. If you go to my Twitter feed, and I said, be careful of this handle, or on Discord, there may be a change in the trend. When it peaked at 543, I had Thomas Jeffrey in my group. I will mention his name. In the group, I told him to get out of the way. He got out at the right time before it dumped all the way to 400. It hit actually 397.28 cents. The low was in it that day. Hold on, let me see what was the low in that day. That low was 370. No, this is the daily. Yep, that is correct. 371.84, but the close was 397.25, because it's a leveraged, because they borrow money from in the bond sector, they pay interest rate on it, and they go leverage themselves in Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin can keep making more than 8% a month revenue, which is about 30%. This is a leveraged account. Pay attention to it. Don't get caught. If you have money and profit out of it, be careful of that 38.2 fib or the 50. If you brought it down here like we did earlier, that's fine. I mean, I got rid of it around here. I did not expect it to keep going that high. So that's one. And let's go to micro BT, which is Bitcoin. Oops, micro BT. I wanted to show this. It depends which instrument you're using. If you're using GBTC, the ETF, BT, which is BTC, the Bitcoin, or Ethereum, you can see that Bitcoin hit over $100,000. We are a little bit extended on the upside. You can see that the linear regression downtrend channel, when we created the head and shoulder up here, this is the shoulder, this is the head, this is the shoulder. And I said to everybody, if we break that uptrend channel, go for it. And here, this consolidation, there was a little bit of consolidation. People were worried about that backside of this channel. I said, it's going to break out. We're looking at a 100,000, even 88,000. Take some profits off down here. We got the extension, the 38. We're getting to the 150. Is there going to be continuation to the 110? Possibly. But remember to protect your capital, because we are at a rounded number, 100,000 K in Bitcoin. So let's go now. Take a look at the micro ES, and I want to talk about the S&P 500. This is the annual chart from January low to the high year to date. But you can see that the CCI has crossed the momentum in it and is trying to make a U-turn back up. Is there going to be a grind higher in the S&P 500? Possibly. But we have to pay attention to the Nasdaq, because you can see that down move. You had the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Every time we came down, we rallied up. This was a close just right above. We tested halfway of this candle, a little bit below the 18 SMA or the 20, bounced off and continued. We came back into the body of the open in the range of the volume profile or market profile, what we call inside value. We tested the inside value, bounced off, cleared the value area high, and continued higher. Is it possible that this downtrend channel that we have, I'm going to draw a downtrend channel from here to here. You can see it broke out of this area. If this, or we can activate this channel, activate it. And what I want to do is grab this area here and have it as the first linear regression that we broke out of. If I do another one down here from this point to this candle, we can see we broke out two channel, but we are in an uptrend channel here, and you can see we are in a symmetrical triangle on the S&P 500. Could it continue all the way up to break the 6,053? Yes. Could it continue all the way up to the backside of the linear regression channel? Yes. But remember, this is my last month range from high to low with the extension 138, 150, 161. Is there a possibility continuation back to retest this area? Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not bearish unless the trend does change. I am above the 18 and the 50 SMA, and my F5 is my 50% line in the sand where we broke out of that overnight price action, which we retested that gap and bounced off it. So remember, we're going to trade what we see, and I will show you this as well on the 4-hour. Let me do first the micro NASDAQ NQ, micro NQ. And the reason behind why I am showing you the micro NASDAQ NQ without putting anything else, we can see we created that W, came back, did that handle, we went side action for a while and continued higher. We grinded back down, we fell back down. The NASDAQ is a little bit on the downside trend, even if I make a linear regression uptrend channel from here all the way to here. I am in a symmetrical triangle on the NASDAQ trying to clear that big candle, engulfing candle down. And this one, these two big candles took over. If there's going to be continuation in the S&P, it's going to help the NASDAQ grind a little higher. Are we going to get to the prior high? Possibly, but I don't see the NASDAQ making the same jump as the S&P 500. I rather concentrate on small cap and other sectors in the S&P 500, because if I take a look at Apple, Amazon, and the Mega 8 or Mega 7, the wonderful 7 that they call, if I exclude Netflix, you can see Amazon was a little bit down, Alphabet was down, AMB got whacked, Meta's getting whacked, Microsoft is down a little bit, and Netflix and NVDA. Do I have Tesla in here? Of course I do have Tesla at the end, and Tesla's doing much better than the other tech sectors. Remember, Tesla, I don't consider it a car company. I consider it a technology company due to the sophistication and the AI that they have and everything out there. So Tesla has a trend on an upside. All the down moves have been brought back up in relationship to the NASDAQ 100 XL. In the tech sector, you can see that there's weakness in it in the XLK, like I showed you earlier. Let's go look at them. Now we're going to move back to micro ES. And what I wanted to do is on an intraday, we're going to go to intraday. We're going to do about 30 days so everyone can see it. The gray area would be the overnight action, and the trading hours are going to use 6 hours instead of 4. It's going to show you the European zone, Asian market in relationship to that move up. Is there going to be continuation in the S&P? And I see that there's going to be, it's a short week, remember, because of Thanksgiving. It may run up, but I'm looking for the backside of this channel. If it's retested for an opportunity for a buy continuation high, and you can see that the machine on the charts on the 4-hour created the auto downtrend channel. I just created this shorter one myself from this angle here to the upside, showing you the upside strength in the S&P 500. Let's take a look at now the micro NQ, and I'll finish up with some micro NQ, which is the NASDAQ 100, or you can use the QQQ. We can see in the micro NASDAQ 100, because of this consolidation here and weakness, every time it came back down, retested, bounced, retested, bounced, retested, bounced, until I clear that 50 SMA and that downtrend channel. I'll get rid of this one, but this is the major one. I'm going to leave it, but I'm going to adjust it, remove it. So what I want to do is grab that candle from here to here. This is the uptrend channel that it needs to clear in the NASDAQ in order for it to come back to this consolidation the last 4 or 5 days before creating that shoulder, that head, that shoulder, and the falling back down. Is this an angle retesting the profile here? Yes. Am I concerned about the profile in the NASDAQ because of the mega 8 or the mega wonderful 7, such as Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple? Yes, I am concerned about it. And I will show you Tesla on this chart. You can see what has been a little bit after the earning report, goes up, comes back in, goes up, comes back in, and continues. And this is a break. Consider this a big stick. You know, you're holding a flag, came back, retested it, bounced off, grinded here for a couple of days, and you got the push up. Remember, we're going to trade what we see, not what we think. And most importantly, as a trader, remember to be fluid with the market, not flexible, because flexibility can break if you heat it. You know, you use a torch, you can break the steel, while liquid can go inside of an engine and move freely around. So I hope this video was very helpful. Smash the like button, give us your commentary, share it with your friends. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your holidays in the coming week, in case, you know, most people are traveling on Thanksgiving, seeing their families and loved ones and their friends. If I do a short video, I'll make it short and brief. Check it out. Take care.